Fellas, Season 15 of Ninjago is fantastic. Seabound recently aired along with the release of a ton of brand new sets, so today I thought I'd do a mega review of Season 15. So if you haven't seen it yet, then go back to being able to drink water without crying, because this season ruins people. The premise of Seabound is basically that Nia's powers go all funky and she nearly drowns an entire village filled with kids. So then of course the ninja decide to go underwater and trespass on the funny fish's land for really no reason. They were quite rude about it, honestly. But it turns out that the funny fish man wasn't actually that funny and instead wants to enslave the entire world. You know, just your average day Ninjago. Now, one of the common criticisms that Seabound gets is that it's very similar to Season 2 when Pythor was like, ha, funny big snake gonna like eat everyone, but then the funny big snake wasn't funny and then ate him. I mean, it basically is the exact same, but different, because instead of snakes, they're sea snakes. If I'm being completely honest, I really love the fact that this plot continues over Season 14 and 15 of Ninjago. And yes, I'm calling them Season 14 and 15. Fight me. I think here the 10-minute episodes really shine, because what it allows the writers to do is do separate storylines which don't feel really rushed or just like inserted into places for no reason, but it also allows for some really nice filler episodes, which to be honest aren't bad filler. The filler in Seabound is absolutely fantastic because in my opinion it's not even really filler because it contributes to the storyline so much. One of my favourite episodes from Season 15 is Paper Girl, where we get to see the ninja fighting Kalmaar from the perspective of Antonia and the Purple Child. The fantastic thing about this episode is that whilst it takes a look at the storyline from the perspective of other characters, things still progress. Like the ninja are still fighting Kalmaar trying to get the wave amulet, so it doesn't feel like it's a wasted episode. I think the same can be said about the Master of Sea, where we get to hear more about Niad, and then there's just some fantastic foreshadowing for what's actually going to happen. And again, it's very PogChamp. As far as the new characters introduced, I'm going to be completely honest, this may be one of the greatest seasons for new characters. Like, literally, they're all so good. First of all, let's start with Kalmaar, who in my opinion is one of the best Ninjago villains ever, because he's just like, he is so intimidating throughout. As well, the voice actor was absolutely superb. Mainly because he replied to me on Twitter and talked about Dareth with me, so thank you for that. I do, however, think that his motivations are a tiny bit underdeveloped because his father is completely pro-surface dwellers whilst Kalmaar loves discrimination for some reason, and it's never really explored quite why. I mean, he thinks that the Marlopians are superior, but like, why? I don't think we're going to be seeing much more of Kalmaar in the future. And next up is, of course, Benthomaar. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise for your King Bentho? You see this big man here? I mean, how can you possibly resist him? Jokes aside, I think that Benthomaar is actually such an interesting character because he's a character that's been manipulated and was on the enemy side. I mean, I can't think of a time that that's ever happened. And now with King Trimal gone and Kalmaar revealed to be, you know, a bit of a dickhead, I am incredibly interested to see what happens with Benthomaar, considering he's most likely going to be joining the team, and honestly, I am very hyped for it. Like, seriously. Oh, Benthomaar, please. Now, whilst they're not necessarily new characters, Ray and Maya were, of course, in this season, but obviously Maya was probably the biggest change, being a far more loving parent. Initially, at the start of this season, I was very annoyed about this change because I was like, well, you know, your kids haven't seen you in, like, years and years, and you're just gonna rock up and be a mother figure. That's not how that works, hun, okay? But the show was very self-aware about this fact, and obviously Nia, you know, called her out for her being a bit, you know, not great of a person for just showing up and being like that. Ray, on the other hand, well, Ray was just an absolute legend. I mean, seriously, absolute icon to society. You know, when they make books about the most influential people, Ray is top of that list because, again, absolute king. But of course, fellas, one of the most important characters that we were introduced to was Wojira, the big funky snake fish thing. Going into this season, I was beyond excited to learn more about Wojira. Wojira was meant to be one of the most fierce Ninjago creatures ever. Even the first Spinjitzu master himself couldn't take it on alone. Like, fellas, I was so incredibly excited to learn more about Wojira, and then it just looked like a really cute seal, to be honest with you. Like, I still don't really feel like Wojira's powers were fully explored. I mean, it like shot a couple of people, you know, put J in its mouth. I could do that if I wanted to. Like, this would fit in my mouth, so like, am I stronger than Wojira? Hey, first Spinjitzu master. Yeah, that's right. I just killed Wojira, so, you know, give me your powers, please. That's some really good water. Oh my god. Now, fellas, the sets for Seabound are mind-blowing. On the first day that they were available in the UK, I went straight to the LEGO store and bought every single one, except for the water dragon, because, like, it was either that or, like, this, and to be honest with you, I definitely made the right choice. I don't think that I'd be exaggerating to say that this is quite possibly one of the best waves of Ninjago sets for any season ever. Like, seriously, there are no bad sets in this wave. I'm pretty blown away by that. I absolutely love the brand new Ninja minifigures, as well as all of the vehicles, which are just so cool, especially the Hydro Bounty, where you can put, like, little pods in there and that. I mean, that's pretty cool, right? And the Ninja Subspeeder, like, you know, the wheels move, like, what? And the color scheme of the Marlopian Guards, as well as the Temple of the Endless Sea, is absolutely mind-blowing. Like, genuinely, it looks so good on display. I just can't believe it. And then I'd have to say the Water Dragon. And yes, I don't technically, you know, own this set, and I'll definitely get it at some point, but it looks very cool, very good. It's one of the better Ninjago dragons, but, like, it's just a big dragon, isn't it? Lloyd's Hydromech as well is a fantastic set, which is very accurate to the show. For £18 is a really good deal. You know, you're getting 2 minifigures in there. The only issue I have with it is the fact that that sword is very unstable in that clip, but at the end of the day, it's just a cool little mech, innit, really? Now, look, whilst all of the sets are absolutely fantastic from Seabound, I want to see, do they actually work in water? I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna go and see, alright? So then I went to the beach and did some science. Fellas, we've arrived at the sea and we're gonna do some science. I'm very excited. I'm making the descent now. Oh dear. I'm gonna get wet feet. No, come back. Please. Please subscribe. No, come back.